Welcome back to Threadline Clothing. If this is your first time of seeing my video, you're welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. So today we are going to be learning how to make this simple flare dress with a gather at the hem. So and with a puff sleeve. It also have like a ruche design on the chest line. So the first thing I will do is to fold out my fabric. I have about 4 yards of fabric here, no, 4.5 yards of fabric. So and this fabric is very, very, very silky. So I don't know, it's not crepe and it's not duchess. It's very funny. So the first thing I'll do is to fold my fabric into four like so. So how to fold my fabric? I will measure my waist divided by 3.42, which is the formula for your half cycle. So whatever it gives you, you minus it from you minus your half length from your full length, the full length of your dress minus your half length, and then go ahead and cut the remaining one. So for this part, I want it to stop at the 3/4 before I'll go ahead and attach that gypsy gather on the flare. So I will just measure from my waist after cutting out the radius I calculated. I am left with 43, and I went ahead to cut it out. So at this point, I am folding for my half length, which is the body. This is my normal basic body with for the half length, and I folded it into two with the body circumference. For the biggest part of my body circumference for this upper part is my bust. I folded it into two plus my allowance. So the first thing I did is to mark out a guideline there, the starting point, and on the starting point there, I measure my shoulder measurement divided by 2, which is 15 divided by 2. I have 7.5, and I brought it down to the chest line, the 7.5. So I have a straight line there. So just go ahead and connect a straight line like that. So from there, I measure my shoulder slope. I use about 7.5 for my shoulder slope. And at the midpoint of this line, I measure the half. I divided it into two, and the half is the midpoint. On that midpoint, I came in by half inch to connect to my armhole. Then go ahead and give it a curve like that. You can use your French curve to just give it a curve, or use your free hand to do this. So I'm done doing that. So I'll move ahead to the body measurement. Your body circumference, your round bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches allowance. You can do less than 2 inches if you are not adding a zipper allowance. If you are not adding lining to yours. So on the waist, I repeated the same thing. My waist circumference divided by 4 plus my sewing allowance. I use 2 inches. Then I'll go ahead and connect all the dots together. So go ahead and connect your dots together. And for the neck part, I want the V shape. It's going to be a V, more like a V neck. I came down by 7.5 inches. So that is it, guys. I came down by 7.5 inches. And for the width of my neck, I use about 4 inches here. So that is how wide I want the neck to be. Then I'll go ahead and connect it like this. So after cutting out this neck, don't forget I said the neck part, I am going to be using elastic to give it that uh, like a drawstring, but I'm using elastic this time. It's going to be like as if I reach the neck like that bust side. So don't forget, draw out your shoulder slope, connect it like so. Then you go ahead and cut it out. So let me just finish up my armhole. So guys, I've finished cutting out the front part of this dress, and here is the back part. The neck of the depth of the back neckline, I used about 3 inches. sorry, 2.5 inches. Yes, it's 2.5 inches. And I also on the waist point, I came in by a half inch and blend it towards the neckline like this, as you can see me do. So this is to help me eliminate bulginess. It will not allow the zip part to bulge. So just go ahead and do that. So I also mark out my dart. I measure 4 inches my nipple to nipple divided by 2. That is for my dart. So after this, I will go ahead and cut facing for the back neckline. So I'm going to be using facing for my back neckline. So I went ahead and placed the front on a piece of fabric, and I mark out the shape, and also I measure 4 inches round and give it a curve. So this is it for the facing for the back. Open it up for both sides of the back. So here, what I have here is a long fabric. I think you need more like how many yards for this? For the down part, that gypsy part. And I measure about 60 inches. How I got my 60 inches? I have about 43 inches left, and the full length of my dress is 58. So I minus 58 from my 43 from my 58, and I measure like that. So how I calculated it was I measure round the down part of my sleeve. So this is what I'm doing here, and I'll multiply it by 2.5. So whatever you have round the down part of your sleeve, go ahead and multiply it by 2.5, and that will determine the number of length, how wide your fabric you'll be cutting out. Let me go over it again. So measure round the flare part. So whatever you get, multiply it by 2.5, depending on the number of fabric you have to work with. So you can multiply by 1.5 or 2 or 2.5. Here I multiply by 2.5, and I cut about this fabric here is about I don't know, like 2 years plus. So I cut like how many pieces of this? Like 6. So here is one. I cut another one, two. So I cut another one. This is three. So I'm going to be adding more. So just go ahead and cut as much as possible, and all of them should measure a height of 16 inches to complete the full length. So I am cutting out another one again. That is 4, and I'm still going to cut more, and here is 5. So I cut about 6 for this at the end of the day. So after that, I went over to my overlock machine, and I went ahead to whip this out because I'm going to be placing it on my dress. I'm not sewing it inside it. So I went ahead to weave it, and now I am ready to sew my upper part. So the first thing I did is to sew my darts for the front and for the back. So I'm done sewing the dart. Remember I said it's going to be having more like a ruche. I cut out like 4 inches of elastic. Here I am. Look at the way I'm doing it. I draw it out very well, make it very firm. Just drag it down and sew on it like that at the center of your um, basic body you just cut out. So this is what it looks like after I have draw it out with an elastic. See it, guys. It's really really nice. So I did this on the main fabric, and I'll go ahead and cover it up with my um, lining. So I cut out a lining for this, and I just go ahead and sew this down with my lining. After that, I will notch it and then turn it over. So, so here I am trying to draw gathers for my long strip of fabric measured by the height of 16 I told you earlier. So I'm just going to be drawing it out like that. I have done doing my gathers. So don't forget to put your machine on a loose stick to draw out your gathers. So you do this for the whole long fabric and then you start drawing out your gather. So go ahead and draw your gathers. Take your time, don't rush in order for it not to cut. Because if it cuts, it will because you have to go back and do it all over again. So I'm just here taking my time to do this and I am done. This is what it looks like after I've finished gathering the whole thing. So I'll then go ahead and attach this to the flare part of my dress. So this is what I'll be doing. I placed my flare like this and I also placed the upper part on the flare. The gathers I just drag, I place it on it and I'll go ahead and sew it down round the flare. So take your time guys, don't rush, just take your time and do this gently. So I am done placing my gather on my flare part. So the next thing I'll do is to join my shoulders for the upper part. So I'm just going to finish up the upper part of this dress. So I am here turning the front and the back shoulder like that. I use one to turn one and I arrange it well, then I'll sew it like this. I'll repeat the same thing for the other side of the shoulder. So this is it after sewing it. This is what it looks like. It's very neat. You will want to sew yours like this. So repeat the same thing when like so I'm done joining the two shoulders and I'll just go ahead and iron this out. Give it a good press. So after iron it out, I'm going to be shaping it. So this time I'm shaping it to my body measurement. So I folded it into two like this. This is the front part. So I measure my bust circumference. This time I am not adding same allowance. Just your body circumference, measure your under bust and the waistline. So you repeat the same thing to the other side. So you go ahead and repeat the same thing and connect the line like this. So draw before you start, measure out your zipper allowance. So your measurement will be starting from your zipper allowance. So here is my zipper allowance. Don't forget. So your measurement will start from here. So go ahead and measure it. Same thing we do for the front, your bust divided by 4, then your under bust and your waist divided by 4. So connect this, all of this into a straight line. Then I'll head to my sewing machine and sew this down. And this is what it looks like, guys. See you in my next video. Bye.